So the song Radio for CNC, this one was just sort of a fun groove, techno kind of thing that I came up with, part of the experimental phase of working on these tracks. And I just kind of let it wander a bit. It wasn't a track that I particularly had any specific thing in mind for where it was going to go or how it was going to come together. I just was kind of going off the cuff, combined some different elements of drum grooves and then came up with the simple bass line. I'm pretty sure I came up with the bass line first along with the beats and the tempo that I had established, and then started playing around with what could go over the top of that. So I started experimenting with that. I got some sound effect things, and I did some sampling of some guitar riffs where I reversed them. So when you hear that, that's actually a reversed played, guitar thing. And I did that on a few tracks actually, as part of the CNC soundtrack. But in this one, this was another one I did that on. And had some just quick riffs that I had played, or some just quick chords, and then I even just played those with the keyboard after I sampled them in. And it was kind of sparse, and I liked the space between these little elements and effects that I was using. It let the bass and drums be the central focus of the track, while everything else kind of meandered around it. And as I got about halfway through, I kind of realized that, it kind of sounds cool that way. Maybe it doesn't have to necessarily go anywhere. It could just do that. It could just kind of be this track that has these ongoing elements that phase in and out, and it can just exist that way as sort of an auxiliary track or a background track. It doesn't have to be something that's so foreground. Orchestra hits, of course. I was a big fan of orchestra hits. I look back at a lot of these tracks, and I did use that quite a bit, and I used it quite a bit in the future too. I guess that was just something that I thought could be effective in, just accenting certain beats within the music, and it just became kind of part of what I did. And part of, I guess, my style moving forward in some respects. So there you go. That's Radio.